In the quiet of midnight, Ngozi sat trembling by a dim lantern in her uncle's mud hut, clutching a tattered shawl. Her heart pounded as she overheard her uncle's plan to trade her like a market goat to clear his debts. Tomorrow, her life would change forever, and fear gripped her soul. Ngozi, just 20, sat on a woven mat, staring at the cracked mud walls. Her wrapper was frayed, her feet dusty from walking barefoot, and her stomach growled after eating only a handful of boiled corn. Her uncle, Mr. Obi, paced outside, muttering. He owed the kola nut seller, the fisherman, and the tailor's wife, debts piled high from failed crop trades. To save himself, he'd arranged to give Ngozi away. Her parents had died years ago, leaving her in his care, and now he saw her as a bargaining chip. That evening, Mr. Obi called her to the courtyard. "Tomorrow, you marry," he said, avoiding her gaze. Ngozi's breath caught. "Marry who, uncle?" she asked, voice shaking. "A man who'll pay off my debts and save our family," he replied gruffly. Tears stung Ngozi's eyes. "But I don't know him. I'm not ready." Mr. Obi's voice turned cold. "Refuse, and you'll sleep outside like a stray goat." That night, Ngozi curled up, tears soaking the earth as she drifted into a restless sleep, praying for strength. Morning came with no songs, no feast, no joy. Ngozi wore a faded dress that hung loosely, her hair tied with a plain cloth. Villagers whispered and pointed as she was handed to Chidi, a quiet man with patched clothes and worn sandals. His small hut sat at the village's edge, where he lived alone, carving wooden stools. He'd earned the community's trust by fixing broken chairs for elders and sharing his meager harvest, despite having no family. His steady hands and kind demeanor made him a respected, if mysterious, figure. "Welcome," Chidi said softly as Ngozi stepped into his hut. "Take the mat. I'll sleep by the door." Ngozi was stunned. She'd braced for cruelty, expecting to be treated like a servant, but Chidi shared his yam porridge, fetched stream water, and spoke gently, his eyes kind. He even told her stories of his carvings, easing her fears. A week after their simple wedding, Chidi sat under a mango tree, watching stars twinkle over the hills. Ngozi was inside, scrubbing a clay pot, humming her mother's old lullaby. She felt safer now, no longer flinching at Chidi's voice. She'd even begun to smile, her heart warming to his quiet care. Chidi had hinted at a past loss, a failed trading venture that left him penniless, but never dwelled on it, always focusing on their future. "Ngozi," Chidi called gently. She stepped out, wiping her hands. "Yes. I've been thinking," he said. "We should move to town." Ngozi's eyes widened. "Town?" "Yes," Chidi nodded. "I've saved a little from selling stools. We can rent a room and start fresh. I'll keep carving." Ngozi sat on a stool, staring at the dirt. "Chidi, your stools are simple. Town people want fancy chairs with cushions." Chidi grinned. "True, but if no one buys, I'll sweep shops, carry loads, or learn new designs. I'm not scared to start small." Ngozi bit her lip. "Town's so different. I'm afraid of getting lost or failing." Chidi's voice was steady. "I know, but this village traps us. A small room in town is a step forward." Ngozi saw hope in his eyes, not pride. He wasn't forcing her, he was inviting her to dream. "Okay," she said. "I'll go with you." Chidi's face lit up. "Thank you, Ngozi." They packed their few belongings, Ngozi's 2 wrappers, Chidi's carving tools, and a small bag of coins. The bus to town was rickety, rattling over potholes. It broke down once, leaving them under a scorching sun, dust coating their clothes. By evening, they reached the town, where noise overwhelmed Ngozi, hawkers shouting, motorcycles roaring, smoke curling from food stalls. "Chidi, this place is too loud," she whispered, clutching his hand. He chuckled. You'll find your rhythm. A kind neighbor had helped Chidi find a room in advance, guiding them through the chaotic streets. They took a tricycle to a quiet lane, where the landlord handed them a key. The room had one mat, a small stove, and a torn curtain, but it was clean. Ngozi sat on the mat, smiling. It's small, but it's ours. The next day, Chidi left to find carving work, navigating crowded markets and unfamiliar workshops. Ngozi stayed, tidying the room, arranging their 2 plates, and cooking beans with scarce oil. Chidi returned at dusk, weary. How was it? Ngozi asked. Tough, he said. 3 workshops said my stools are too plain for town taste. Ngozi sighed. I told you, they want glass tables, velvet chairs. Chidi nodded. But one needs a cleaner to sweep and carry wood. I'll start there. Ngozi's eyes softened. Thank you for pushing on. Chidi smiled. For us, I keep going. Days were hard. Chidi left at dawn, returning late with small coins from odd jobs. Ngozi began frying puff-puff to sell outside their room, but progress was slow. High flour prices strained their budget, and some neighbors preferred established vendors. Ngozi persisted, waking early to knead dough and offering free samples to wary buyers. Gradually, kids bought, then neighbors, drawn by the sweet aroma. A woman said, "Your puff-puff is fine. Make more." Ngozi did, and buyers trickled in from nearby streets. After weeks of effort, a teacher ordered for a school event, boosting their income. Chidi watched, proud. Your hands are magic, Ngozi. She laughed. At least one of us has a gift. Chidi squeezed her hand. My turn's coming. One morning, Chidi's phone buzzed with an unknown number. He answered hesitantly. Is this Chidi Okon? A gruff voice asked. Yes, Chidi said, heart racing. Mr. Nwosu from Goldenwood Designs. Your wife dropped your carvings at our shop last week, along with a note praising your skill. Come for a talk on Monday. Chidi turned to Ngozi, who was stirring a pot, pretending not to listen. After the call, he faced her. Ngozi, you took my carvings to a company. She set the spoon down. I saw your work and believed in it. I didn't tell you to avoid raising false hopes. Chidi stared. You trust me that much? She nodded. More than you know. He hugged her. You're my strength, Ngozi. Monday dawned bright. Chidi wore his iron shirt and trousers. Ngozi packed him water and groundnuts, her hands steady despite her nerves. You shine, she said. Chidi smiled. Pray for me. Already did, she replied, touching his cheek. After he left, Ngozi sat by the window, watching the bustling street, her mind on Chidi's meeting. A loud knock startled her. Who's there? Buki, a sharp voice answered. Ngozi opened the door cautiously. Buki strutted in, her tight blouse sparkling, lips bright pink, chewing gum loudly. She scanned the room like it was a market stall. This is your palace, she sneered. Yes, Ngozi said calmly. Buki laughed. Ngozi, the village flower, tied to a broke cover. You're wasting in this box. Ngozi crossed her arms. Is this why you came? Buki smirked, hand on hip. You're too fine for this. You should be in a salon, not sweating like a bushwife. Ngozi's eyes narrowed. Buki leaned closer. Be honest, is Chidi that good at night? Is that why you stay? Ngozi stood, voice sharp. Are you mad? Buki raised her hands. I'm just saying. I know a man, tall, rich, drives a white SUV. He can lift you from this mess. Ngozi's face tightened. You dare insult my husband and offer me a man like I'm a stray cat? Buki blinked. I'm helping, quiet. Ngozi snapped. Help yourself first. You chase men, bitter and alone, and want me to ruin my home. Never. Buki's cheeks burned. You call me bitter? Ngozi pointed to the door. Leave my house, Buki. Don't return. You're a snake, jealous of my peace. I'll never leave Chidi, not for you, not for your rich man, not for anyone. Buki hissed and stormed out, slamming the door. Ngozi stood trembling, anger hot. She sat, recalling Buki from their village days, a restless girl who envied Ngozi's grace and strength, always chasing men who left her empty. Buki's bitterness had grown in town, and now she sought to drag Ngozi down. Peace beats gold without honor, Ngozi whispered. I chose Chidi for his heart. That evening, as the sky glowed orange, Ngozi sat, replaying Buki's words. Chidi's footsteps sounded, followed by a soft knock. She opened the door. He stepped in, tired but smiling. I'm back. Welcome, Ngozi said, taking his bag. He sat on the mat. Today went well. They liked my carvings and want me back tomorrow. Ngozi smiled, but her heart was heavy. Chidi noticed. What's wrong? She sighed and sat beside him. Something happened. She told him about Buki's visit, her insult about Chidi's poverty, her mockery of their room, her offer of a rich man. When Ngozi repeated Buki's jab about Chidi's bedroom skills, his face hardened. She said that. Ngozi nodded. She tried to break our home. Chidi shook his head. She's lost. She's been with half the men in town, married, single, jobless boys. A tailor's wife gossiped about it. Ngozi listened. She sees your beauty and thinks you're like her, Chidi said. But you're my treasure. Tears welled in Ngozi's eyes. Chidi took her hand. Promise you'll avoid her. She's not your friend. Ngozi nodded. I promise. Chidi's eyes softened. Thank you for choosing me, for standing firm. I'm not rich, but you see me. That's my strength. Ngozi leaned on his shoulder. I married your soul, Chidi. They sat in silence, unshaken. A week later, peace returned. Chidi went to work, sharing hopeful stories. Ngozi listened, her heart full. Chidi's job at Goldenwood Designs thrived, his carvings stood out for their unique patterns. His boss, Mr. Nwosu, was wealthy but fair, admiring Chidi's skill and humility. Chidi had once shared that he'd lost everything in a failed palm oil trade, betrayed by partners, which led him to the village to rebuild. This gave Ngozi insight into his quiet resilience. One afternoon, after Chidi finished the carved bench, Mr. Nwosu called him. Chidi, sit, he said warmly. Chidi sat, hands folded. Your work is top-notch, Mr. Nwosu said. You're early, humble, skilled. I admire that. Thank you, sir, Chidi replied. But you talk about your wife constantly, Mr. Nwosu said. You say she's your strength, your peace. Chidi smiled shyly. I want to meet this woman. Chidi's eyes lit up. You want to meet Ngozi? Yes, Mr. Nwosu said. Maybe she can work in my shop. Chidi hesitated. Sir, she has no schooling or shop experience. Mr. Nwosu waved it off. A good heart beats papers. Bring her. Chidi stood, heart soaring. Thank you, sir. That evening, Chidi burst in, grinning. Ngozi, guess what? She looked up from her pot. What? My boss wants to meet you, Chidi said, taking her hand. I told him how you support me. He wants to meet my strength. Ngozi shook her head. Me? In a shop. I'll mess up, Chidi. He held her. You won't. He might offer you work. Ngozi's eyes widened. Work? I've never done that. Chidi nodded. He'll train you. Your heart is enough. Ngozi stepped back. I don't know city ways. What if I shame you? Chidi touched her face. You can't. Your heart shines brighter than fancy clothes. Be you. Ngozi saw his trust. You're sure? Chidi smiled. I'm proud of you. Days earlier, Ngozi had stood up to a rude market trader, a small victory that boosted her courage, preparing her for this moment. Ngozi dressed carefully, her heart pounding, in her cleanest wrapper, hair neatly tied. The shop was a glass building, busy with workers. Her knees shook as she entered. She'd gotten lost finding the place, asking strangers for directions, a reminder of the city's challenges. At the desk, she gave her name, and was led to Mr. Nwosu's office. She knocked. Come in, he called. Ngozi stepped in, clutching her bag. You're Ngozi? Mr. Nwosu asked, smiling. Yes, sir, she said softly. Sit. Ngozi perched nervously. You're as lovely as Chidi said, he began. Thank you, sir, Ngozi replied. He leaned forward. Chidi's a fine worker, honest, strong. But are you happy with him? Ngozi frowned. Sir. You're young, beautiful, Mr. Nwosu said, standing. Chidi's a carver, poor. I own this shop, houses, cars. Don't you want more? Ngozi's heart sank. Is this why you called me? He stepped closer. You could live better, no tiny room, no old clothes. I can help. Ngozi stood, voice firm. You disrespect my husband and me. His smile faded. Don't act holy. You're a village girl your uncle sold. Ngozi's eyes blazed. You're a shame, sir. You insult my marriage. I'm poor but honorable. Your money can't buy that. He pointed to the door. Get out. Ngozi laughed. Gladly. Don't speak of Chidi again. You're not fit to clean his tools. She walked out, head high, leaving Mr. Nwosu stunned. She'd given her number to the receptionist for Chidi's work records, a mistake she now regretted. Ngozi hurried home, anger burning. This is Chidi's boss, she thought, a rich man with no shame. As she changed, her phone rang, unknown number. She answered, tense. Ngozi, it's Mr. Nwosu, he said calmly. Her grip tightened. How did you get my number? From Chidi's work file, he said. Listen, don't tell Chidi what happened, or he's jobless. Ngozi's jaw dropped. What? He needs this job, Mr. Nwosu said. Without it, you're back to con. Think about my offer, good, cars, trips. Ngozi shook. Then she snapped. You're a disgrace, using power to threaten me. You're rich, but no woman stays because you're empty. He tried to speak. Find your age mates, Ngozi said. Leave me alone. Sack Chidi, and I'll tell everyone what you are. She hung up, tossing the phone, heart racing with courage. I'll never betray Chidi, she whispered. That evening, the room felt heavy. Ngozi sat, replaying Mr. Nwosu's words. Chidi walked in, smiling. Ngozi, he called. She looked up, eyes serious. He sat beside her. How was it? Ngozi took a breath. Chidi, listen. She told him everything, Mr. Nwosu's insults, threats, and offer. Chidi's fist clenched. That snake, he growled. I'll face him. No, Ngozi said, holding his hand. Quit with pride. Let him keep his dirty money. Chidi blinked. Quit. We need money. Ngozi smiled. We'll sell Puff Puff. People love it. We'll grow it, you package, I fry. Ngozi and Chidi's sweet bites. Chidi stared, then laughed. From cover to Puff Puff man. Yes, Ngozi said, and from poor to thriving, together. Chidi took her hands. I love you. Let's do it. They hugged, united. Ngozi learned from a neighbor that her uncle's debts were cleared with Chidi's marriage payment, easing her mind about her past. 2 days later, the street buzzed. Chidi sat by a stove, frying puff-puff, sweat on his brow. Ngozi was at the market. The sweet smell drew customers. Your puff-puff is fine, a boy said. Chidi grinned. Made with love. Then Buki appeared, heels clicking, smile cruel. She'd heard about Mr. Nwosu's offer from a shop worker's gossip. Chidi the carver, now puff-puff boy, she mocked. Chidi turned the door. Where's Ngozi? Has she run off with a rich man? Chidi looked up. What do you want, Buki? She smacked. I heard your boss offered Ngozi a better life. You stopped her. Foolish man. Chidi stood, voice firm. Your heart empty. You chase every man in town, married, single, jobless. Buki gasped. How dare you? No, how dare you? Chidi said. Insulting me while I work for my wife? I don't beg for phones or sneak into cars at night. People stared. You call me useless, Chidi said, but I have peace, love, a wife who fights for me. You're the disgrace. Buki fled, shamed. Chidi sat, whispering, nobody breaks my home. Over months, Ngozi and Chidi's puff-puff business grew steadily. They earned enough to eat well and gained respect. This couple is strong, neighbors said. One afternoon, Ngozi returned, beaming, with a bag of coins. Chidi, look. I saved this for your carving shop. Chidi stared. You did this for me? Yes, she said. Carving's your gift? Rent a space, buy tools. Chidi shook his head. Grow your business first. Ngozi insisted. Your turn. He hugged her. I married a star. Chidi's phone rang, Mr. Nwosu. Ngozi tensed. Chidi answered. I'm sorry, Mr. Nwosu said. I shamed your wife. Come to my house this weekend, both of you. I want to apologize, and I'll take a month's leave to reflect. Chidi paused. You tried to break my marriage. Mr. Nwosu sighed. I was wrong, lost after my wife left me. Please, come. Chidi agreed. Ngozi glared. You said yes. After everything. Chidi nodded. To end it properly. Ngozi frowned. What if it's a trap? Chidi held her. He's broken, not evil. If he tries anything, we leave. Ngozi sighed. Fine, but I'm watching. The weekend came. Ngozi dressed nervously in her best wrapper. Chidi wore his cleanest shirt. They took a tricycle to Mr. Nwosu's clean street, where big houses shone. His gate opened to a white mansion, glass windows, cars, a garden. Ngozi whispered, This is a king's house. Chidi smiled. You're my wealth. Inside, the house sparkled, tiled floors, soft chairs. Mr. Nwosu appeared, dressed simply, humble. Ngozi, Chidi, he said, I'm sorry for my pride. I disrespected your marriage. Ngozi stayed silent. He continued, My brother, Uche, told me about you, Ngozi. You're Chidi's strength, loyal, fierce. Ngozi froze. Your brother. Chidi took her hand. Ngozi, I should have told you. Mr. Nwosu is my brother. I lost everything in a bad trade, and he sent me to the village to find a true heart. I found you. Mr. Nwosu nodded. I said find someone who loves you, not your name. Ngozi sat, stunned. Chidi knelt. I love you, Ngozi. I saw your strength at your uncle's, and you make me better. Tears fell. Mr. Nwosu said, Your village wedding was small. In 2 weeks, we'll have a grand one, fit for you. Ngozi looked at Chidi. You kept this secret. Chidi bowed. I'm sorry. She touched his face. I forgive you. To Mr. Nwosu, she said, don't let pride ruin you again. He nodded. I won't. A week after their grand wedding, Ngozi's uncle called, voice shaky. I sold you like a cow. Forgive me. Ngozi replied, I forgive you, but I've moved on. She hung up. She and Chidi built a life of love, growing their businesses, facing storms, and celebrating together. Dear viewers, what lessons did this tale teach you? Share in the comments. If you loved this story, give a thumbs up, share with friends, and hit subscribe. Turn on notifications for more.